Scum is an open-world survival game with a realistic approach to gameplay. In Scum, you'll be able to create unique characters with different attributes and skill sets. The rifle's skill is inherited from the strength attribute, which generally defines everything related to muscle power. Sniping is linked to intelligence. Although both these skills require weapons, the former covers weapon handling, short-distance shooting, movement with weapons, and weapon maintenance, while the latter covers expertise in long-range shooting. The first thing we'll cover are the various stances and their relation to crosshair size. As with other combat games, crosshair size defines the scatter radius. This works in Scum just as it works in other games. What's different in Scum, however, are the additional factors that influence the size of the scatter radius. The most important factor is skill level. The rifle's skill is inherited from the strength attribute, which generally defines everything related to muscle power. If you want to be a good rifleman, you simply invest points in strength. Higher strength means better recoil control. The caliber of the bullet also influences weapon recoil. In the current scene, you can see two different characters with different stats. The character on the left is a slim person with below average strength attribute and maximum dexterity. The character on the right is suffering from accumulated fatigue and disease. Because of this, his strength attribute has been temporarily reduced. His rifle skill has been influenced by a strength drop and thus has been reduced from advanced to basic. This is actually a representation of how metabolism and external factors influence your character in the game. Now let's see what happens when these two guys meet. Nice! The combat skill can be effectively used against other players, NPCs, and it can be used against animals too. Although we do not recommend you attack bigger and more dangerous animals unless, of course, you're sure that you can beat them or outrun them.
Edan, my home, the only home I know. Many years have passed since we found our dwelling at the foot of this mountain. In the ruins of the old world, we found shelter and the future where our kind could flourish. It is thanks to the courage and strength of our warriors that our city can still defy the enemy. Only the bravest and strongest berserkers will survive the war against the machine. Through mana, we will grow stronger and more powerful than any machine the Alps can use against us. But not only does it give us strength, it turns barren, stony soil into fertile earth, letting the world blossom again. We are the brotherhood of warriors and magic. We are the Berserkers.
Ashes of Creation is really about four primary pillars of our development. It's about our node system, which is an integral part of exactly how the world works and interacts with you as the player. It's also about our meaningful conflict, PvP, and how you can catalyze change in the environment around you. The economy is our third pillar, which focuses on incentivizing you as the player to get out in the world and interact with it. And last, but most important, potentially, is our narrative. The narrative really holds all of those systems together and keeping you as the player interested in exactly what different outcomes come about.
When players first arrive on this world, they're going to find it devoid of civilization. There's wilderness everywhere, and it's up to the players to kind of bring civilization to this world. These nodes are how players do that. There are tons of nodes throughout the world, and each of them has a zone of influence. This zone of influence captures all the activity of the different players doing different things. It could be crafting, it could be fighting, it could be gathering. Anything that might give you experience is something that the node's going to be paying attention to. And as you level up your character, the node levels up with you. And as it levels, more and more civilization gets attracted to that area. Each server is going to have its own story, and we're pretty excited to see what players do with that. How do they react to that dragon coming out that mountain? Do they pack up their bags and move? Or do they decide to fight it, to gather all of their friends and take down this monster because this is their home? So that's what differentiates our game from most others. It reacts to what the players do. It reacts to the player's decision.
While you're developing these points of civilization, there is a mechanic for change, and change relating to that meaningful conflict.
Because players are motivated by different things, because they want something from the game that other players don't want, that's going to cause people to butt heads. Different players are going to want different experiences, and the conflict between the two of them will create a bigger and better thing. Out of strife comes rebirth, and that's a core symbol, it's a core theme that occurs throughout the game.
Each server will tell a different story, and this story is going to be told by the players. You're going to experience things differently when it comes to what bosses you've encountered because of how the world develops and how you have developed it.
The node system is going to be what drives what storyline branches players experience. Different NPCs are going to be attracted to different nodes. There's going to be different protagonists and antagonists based on how players build their world. It's all going to relate to the same basic story, but you're going to get different viewpoints on different servers, and you're going to find different bad guys on different servers. It's all going to depend on what players uncover, how they uncover it, and when they uncover it.
I wanted a mission, and for my sins, they gave me one.
Luke, would you play that tape, Captain, please?
But we must kill them. Pig after pig. Cow after cow.
Your mission is to proceed up the Nung River in a Navy patrol boat. Pick up Colonel Kurtz's path at New Moon. Infiltrate his team by whatever means available. And terminate the Colonel's command.
Terminate with extreme prejudice.
Because you don't know where the hell you're going, do you? Do ya?
911 emergency.
Of the apocalypse have been broken. Shattered by war's betrayal. Will you answer our call, Rider of the Black Horse? To hunt down and destroy the enemies of existence itself. The 7 deadly sins have escaped and are ravaging the Earth. They must be stopped.
Hello, brother.
Do you accept this undertaking? Though they are 7, and you but 1.
With pleasure.
You have been eliminated. Congratulations.
Jennifer?
Pardon me, I forgot my manners. Please sit down.